Hello everyone. Today, Valencia and I will be discussing human development in early to mid-adolescence, specifically focusing on ages 12 to 14. We'll explore developmental theories, neurobiological changes, common transitions, implications for counseling, and lived experience and artifacts. For development theories, first we have Erikson's psychosocial development. This stage is identity versus role confusion. In the focus during this stage, adolescents are exploring their personal identity and developing a sense of self. This process is crucial for building intimate relationships and forming a sense of belonging in society. Adolescents may experiment with different roles, activities, and behaviors to discover who they are. And in Piaget's cognitive development theory, 12 to 14-year-olds are in the formal operational stage. During this stage, the focus is adolescents begin to think abstractly and logically. They can consider hypothetical situations and problem solve using deductive reasoning, marking the development of higher order thinking skills. This allows adolescents to understand complex concepts and relationships. At ages 12 to 14, brain development consists of neuroplasticity, where the brain in this age group experiences significant changes. The brain is highly adaptable and open to forming new connections. This period is essential for learning and developing new skills. Gray matter decreases because of synaptic pruning, where the brain removes unnecessary neural connections to improve efficiency, leading to sharper cognitive functions. And then white matter increases, and myelination occurs where the coating of nerve fibers enhances the speed and efficiency of neural communication across different brain regions. And at age 12 to 14, there is emotional brain versus rational brain. The emotional brain, which is the limbic system, matures quickly, leading to heightened emotional responses and sensitivity. In contrast, the rational brain, which is in the prefrontal cortex, is still developing, impacting decision-making and impulse control. Common transitions and concerns. In early to mid-adolescence, their identity is forming. Adolescents grapple with questions of identity and self-concept. The search of personal meaning and values is crucial during this time for fostering a clear sense of self. There is a significant influence of peers and societal expectations. Physical and sexual development. Puberty brings rapid physical changes such as growth spurts and hormonal changes. This can lead to body image issues, especially for those who develop earlier than other peers. Adolescents also start to explore their sexual identity and orientation. Social dynamics. Peer relationships become increasingly important. Adolescents may face pressure to conform to peer norms and seek acceptance. The formation of intimate friendships and romantic interests begin to take precedence over familial relationships. Education transition. Moving from elementary to middle school introduces new academic challenges in social environments. Adolescents are expected to develop greater independence, self-regulation, and time management skills. Now we'll move on to Valencia and the implications in counseling.
It's important to note different counseling skills, interventions, and professional dispositions that may be appropriate for this early to mid-adolescent stage, and CBT is something that can be helpful because it can aid adolescents in growing their self-esteem, and it can help them identify their negative behaviors and core beliefs so that they can shift them into becoming more positive and productive. This is backed up by statistics as well, and just one out of many studies on the growth of self-esteem within adolescents found that CBT resulted in a large increase in self-reported self-esteem. And goal setting is also really important because in this stage, adolescents are trying to build their self-identity and self-esteem while also facing many great changes, such as physical changes, academic pressures, athletic pressures, peer acceptance, bullying exposure, and much more. These individuals are facing just so much all at once, and setting goals can help them navigate these more healthily. And I discovered an article that studied and found that goal setting amongst adolescents had a positive impact on their mental health. And because of this research, I believe that an adolescence counselor should make helping the adolescent set their own goals a priority in sessions. Counselors also should help adolescents develop effective coping skills. And it's really important that these coping skills are appropriate for this particular developmental stage. Loneliness is something that many of these kids are facing, whether that be due to major life transitions, social media, or perhaps relationship issues, a lot of different things. Some examples of coping skills counselors can encourage adolescents to practice are breathing techniques for relaxation, journaling down their thoughts can be helpful, spending time in nature rather than on devices, connecting with peers or pets, practicing positive self-talk, and there's a lot more, but those are just some examples. And a recent study on the positive effects that coping skills have on adolescents also suggests that art and creativity is a really great option as well. And the research shows that using arts-based approaches in focus groups helps participants reflect and describe their experiences, specifically improving confidence and allowing youth to disclose problems that previously may have been hidden. I know that we're all adults and some of us grew up with smartphones and social media, but some of us didn't. Either way, I want you to envision that you are a 12 to 14-year-old this day and age, and your parents hand you your first iPhone. Finally, you can fit in. You download Instagram and you can see posts of your friends and how perfect everyone looks, all of the likes that they have on their posts, all of the praising comments that they have. You get out of Instagram, you open up Snapchat, and you have conversations with people where your messages disappear after a day. So your parents will never really see what you're sending to people or what they're sending to you. And before you go to bed, you scroll on TikTok and watch just a few funny videos, only to find out it's way past your bedtime and you've lost valuable sleep before school the next day. But what's wrong with just a few more scrolls? Study after study shows us that though social media was designed to bring people together, it actually has great negative effects on adolescents' development. This includes a higher risk of developing depression and anxiety. It can cause distress related to success, social status, physical fitness, and it can cause in-person interactions to feel very anxiety-inducing. Having a smartphone at this stage also causes an increased risk of eye strain, poor posture. It can lead to chronic pain over time, slower reaction times, and slower overall cognitive function. It's important for counselors to understand the research behind how phones are affecting adolescents and then they can then approach the adolescents in an open, non-judgmental way to just help these kids where they're at.